You are recording.
Okay, welcome to the I Am the Commissioner and You're Not radio simulcast show. Now we have two guests with us today. First we have an extinguished guest over here.
Extinguished one.
Madeline Providence. Now, are you knowledgeable in the area of horse racing?
I'm extinguished. I don't know. Let's see.
Did I say extinguished?
Yes, I believe so.
I meant distinguished.
Okay.
Do you have some background in horse racing?
A tad.
A tad, okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a story that I think you will appreciate, all right? In Elmont, when you were growing up, who was one of your favorite neighbors, famous neighbors?
Joe Shea.
Joe Shea. What was his real name?
Joe Schiavone.
And my new friend, Ron Turcotte, the legendary jockey who I met yesterday, and I spoke to him for 15 minutes.
I spoke to him for 3 minutes.
When?
1972.
Really?
3.
Now,
Something.
this was before the great year of Secretariat. Could you tell the listening audience, provided there is one, what did you discuss with Ron Turcotte?
I don't remember. It might have been my shoes.
You discussed your shoes with the legendary jockey?
Let's just continue.
Yes.
Whether or not she liked Joe Shea.
Not funny.
Okay. Now, yesterday, this is a true story, I spoke with Ron Turcotte, the legendary jockey of Secretariat, Riva Ridge, and many other champion horses. So I go up to Ron, who looked in very good shape, and he was signing autographs on his pictures. And
Okay.
do you know what I made as an opening remark which caught his attention?
Let me see you get out of that chair.
That's a question for you.
Marsha!
George.
Hey, Marsha!
Oh, no, we don't want to get into that one.
Maybe
I
Matt.
knew Joe Shea. That wasn't a question though, right?
Well, it was part of the question. Maybe Matt, if you met a famous person, how would you introduce yourself to
I
get that
am
person?
Joe Shea's friend. No.
I'm talking to Matt now.
Okay.
Matt, how would you introduce yourself to a famous person to get their attention?
I'm Tom Saunders' friend.
Very good. I'm the commissioner's friend. Stop snorting like that. It doesn't go well.
Doesn't play well in Altoona.
So Ron is there the day before the BelmontStakes, and he's signing autographs. And I go up to him and I said, Ron Turcotte, I know a person who is a friend and an acquaintance of mine who is one of the more colorful characters in your life. So he looks at me and he said, who? And how did I answer him? M.
Joe Shea.
I said, I was friends with the legendary Joe Shea. And you know what Ron Turcotte says to me?
Who's that?
No. He
No.
says, oh, Joe Schiavone. And I asked Ron Turcotte if Joe Shea treated him well and was good to him as his agent. And I found his answer to be very enlightening and interesting. How do you think he answered that question, Em, since you knew the individuals involved?
I would say he was probably extraordinary.
Who? Ron Turcotte or Joe Shea?
The treatment
I
of
would hope both.
Both, yeah.
Okay, remember the
Uh-oh.
part about being humorous.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
I've-
well, I told you, I failed that part.
So I asked Ron Turcotte if Joe Shea treated him well. You know what he said to me? He said, he always stood up for me, he backed me in difficult times. I've had people tell me that if I got rid of Joe Shea, I would have made a lot more money. But, this is Ron Turcotte talking, he said, I was a man of my word, and therefore I made him my agent, and I remained faithful to my
commitment.
commitment. Thank you. We do have an audience out there. What language does Ron Turcotte speak, Matt, besides English?
Portuguese.
Incorrect.
French,
French. Why?
because he's Canadian.
Very good.
Thank you.
You always know a little bit more then you led on. Now,
Stay thirsty.
we're gonna get into the results of the night at Belmont Stakes. Okay, now,
You don't
Did you,
have that
did you
much
pan the
tape.
board? Pan the board, honey? Pan the board? Cameraman?
You don't have that much film,
Belmont
do you?
Stakes?
This is
I
unlimited
hope
to
you're
DVD.
gonna edit this before it goes.
Oh, and the
on
winner
YouTube.
is
There is no editing.
right by the board.
It's too involved.
all to the camera. Okay, we're back live. Now, let me see if you understand. Now, Matt, you don't know this because it's before your time. So I said to Ron Turcott,
No, it isn't, and you will shortly find out.
well, then I will ask both our guests.
Okay.
I asked Ron Turcott this question. I said, you know, I was at 1973, I was at the Wood Memorial. Are you asleep
Oh,
out
that
there?
was-
You get
that
free
was
beverages,
before
don't
his
you?
time, yes.
Pay attention. I asked Ron Turcott,
It's definitely summer school.
what happened at the Wood Memorial in 1973? Do you happen to know what happened at the Wood Memorial in 1973? M.
We had a
I'm
yes
thinking
here.
Onion beat Secretariat.
Secretariat lost.
Yeah, but to who? Was
We
it
have
Onion?
a person
or
from the
was it-
audience who just called in, a
Yeah.
blogger.
Secretariat lost.
Secretariat.
It wasn't sham, was it? Is that possible?
That,
Yeah.
that was
was
not
the
the
wrong
Wood
year.
Memorial.
The Onion is incorrect.
Mm.
Now,
It's correct, but the wrong memorial.
I also said to my friend Ron Turcott,
No.
I said, I made a big bet on Secretariat in the exacta or the triple. And Secretariat ran, what? Third in the race.
I was gonna say that.
Now, how did the commissioner win his bet? Maybe the golf commissioner who's present in the audience. How did the commissioner win his bet if Secretariat finished third and the commissioner bet on Secretariat to win?
I thought the golf commissioner is answering this.
The other two were scratched.
Who won the race? And how could you
Oh.
win if you bet on Secretariat?
Mrs. C has the answer.
What is the answer from the audience?
The audience says the other two were scratched.
Incorrect, but a good
But
attempt.
that was good.
They collided.
Matt, do you
One
have any
was-
recollection of
one was
1973?
taken
When were you
down.
born? When were you
Both were
born?
taken
I can't
down.
say with certainty, but it was. It was it.
I was waiting for a wiener. Now let's keep the thing going before it peters out, okay?
Yeah, so to speak.
Let's get
Tell
back.
us why.
The first two
Sir,
were taken
Commissioner.
down.
They were disqualified.
They collided with each other and were taken down.
Now,
Nope.
he said to me, oh yes, Angle Light, the entry mate of Secretariat, wearing the number 1A, won the race. Sham finished second. Secretariat was third. 1 and 1A were the same thing, so the commissioner wins his bet. Now, Ron Turcott, my new friend, indicated to me that Secretariat had an infection that day. He had an injured hoof and some other malady. Malady means an illness. On that day,
Right
and
back.
therefore, he was not
Write
100%.
that down.
Taking
Matt.
notes.
As in, the malady lingers on.
He said when Angle Light
In C sharp.
and Secretariat worked out together, Angle Light could never keep up with Secretariat. And that's the story behind the 1973 Wood Memorial. Were you there
And
that
your new
day?
friend.
Were
I
you
don't-
there that
I
day?
don't know. I was there for the Belmont, but
Question
I don't
is-
know.
Question from the
I
audience.
don't know.
Whether the racing public
Cares.
was hornswoggled on this. Did
Not
the
according-
connections, Secretariat's connections, know that the horse wasn't up to its
Okay, the
full
question is,
capacity?
was the betting public hornswoggled on this because they were not made aware of Secretariat's infection and
So
illness?
this horse is running at less than max.
100%.
Being an astute handicapper, I was not aware,
Right.
so therefore the masses were not aware.
Didn't the
Now,
bandage
When
tip
he
you off?
lost that race, I knew he was going to win the Derby, and I didn't know about his malady.
we have another question from the blogger. How do you, the blogger said that even though
The
he
wiener
lost the
blogger?
Wood Memorial, he knew that he would win the Kentucky Derby. How did you know that, blogger?
Because I saw, I thought he ran a well enough race. He still closed well, and I don't remember what the time of the race was, but I knew he could race better. So
Okay, now you can come on later for your
Maybe
brief
I would be
remembrances.
better holding that and Dave could sit here.
But
Oh.
the
Well,
Preakness, Tom.
now.
The Preakness with Ron Turco.
no more
my
strokes
show.
for you.
Now I go,
I'm just a prompt girl.
I go on to Ron Turcott, and I indicated to him something
The
that he
longest
totally
15
agreed
minutes
with.
of his life.
Now let's see if someone in the audience can answer the question the way Ron Turcott, the legendary jockey, did.
Of Secretariat.
I said, Ron, my new friend. Most people remember the Belmont Stakes as the most memorable performance in Secretariat's career. But I remember the most powerful performance that Secretariat ever made in a race. And Ron Turcott told me exactly what I was thinking. I'll ask
I
M.
hope you
what?
said it first. Did you?
Yes,
You did.
but he agreed with me.
Okay.
Now, what did I say? What was the most memorable, powerful performance of Secretariat?
The Breeders' Cup?
Incorrect.
No.
You know why?
No.
I don't think there was a Breeders' Cup
Oh.
at that time. You're the racetrack specialist
maybe
guest.
I'll go get my props.
If I wanted somebody to come in off the
Should we
street, I'd
guess?
ask.
Should we start guessing?
I'd ask Nancy. To
How about the
come up and
Jockey
ask
Club
her
Gold
questions.
Cup?
Is it was it at Saratoga when he won by 23 lengths?
No, that was the
That was the Belmont Stakes, right?
That was 31.
Okay,
right?
so I said-
1931? That's an old horse.
Oh, put the camera on later. She's
Oh, that's
than the rest of us.
That's Seabiscuit?
Yes, it
That was Seabiscuit.
Was a citation
go.
around then too?
Do not forget
No.
the van man.
You better just put Dottie on camera.
No. The van man.
All right, now, so I go to Ron Turco, we're talking, and I said, most people remember the Belmont Stakes performance, but the most powerful move that I ever saw made by Secretariat was in the Preakness Stakes in Pimlico, which is located, as you know, Joy, in Baltimore,
In
Maryland.
Maryland. You know that.
Now, has anybody been to Pimlico?
No, but my cousin's
You
street
have.
name is War Admiral.
Oh, that's
You
good.
got another blogger, just emailed in. Our
War
cousin,
Admiral.
our cousin,
That was a big horse.
his name was War Admiral, or he lived on War
No,
Admiral
they
Drive?
live on War Admiral, but that War Admiral was a big horse.
All right, you're
Very
scheduled to be a guest now. Now, moving this along here.
If this conversation with Ron Turcott took, what,
The
5
longest
minutes?
15
10
minutes of
minutes.
his life.
This is a very long rendition.
You're already up to 13.
Yep.
All right, so I said, okay, the most powerful move that I saw Secretary make, which I've said before, is in the Preakness in Pimlico, Maryland. I've said this already.
And
You know what Ron
Turcotte's
Turcott
eyes
said?
lit up.
You know what Ron
Oh, you're right.
Turcott said in response to my throwing that out there?
His eyes lit up and he said, "Oh, you're right."
Words to that effect.
Thank you.
He wasn't smiling so much like you. But yes, he said, correct. And I said, could you tell me what happened, like in the running on the first turn? And the gentleman kindly said that he broke a step slow. And the other riders were looking for Secretariat, and they began to hold tight on the reins going into the first term of the Preakness in 1973. And as soon as Ron Turcott, my friend, saw that they were holding back, he let Secretariat go. And if you ever look at YouTube out there and you see the running of the Preakness, you will see this powerful explosion
Big horse.
that goes to the front. Now, enough about me. I want to introduce Matt Providente.
We have the props.
What is
Your
your
new friend.
famous horse racing memory?
My famous horse racing memory. You probably recall.
I probably.
Meeting Ron Turcott. Was it not?
I think that was it.
That was in
How would you
Saratoga.
like to?
Getting an autograph.
How would would you like
Right
to?
here. Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow. Now look at this
Now,
for
what
the,
does
get this for
that
the camera.
say?
Does this zoom, Tom?
Yes, but you don't want to foul it up.
You're
Move it
only
to
a
12
substitute
move it to
camera.
12